Jacob, I can't imagine what Grampy said to you on the last night. I don't know what he said. It must have been hard to hear, and I'm glad I wasn't there. Grampy was not the only one that has had a hard time living without your father. He just took it the worst. And finally, to back up what Jimmy and Aunt Joni said, the thing I love about my father is he, just like Jimmy said, he never met a stranger. He was every man's hero. He never met a man or woman he didn't like. There was no such thing as a stranger. He treated everyone the same, no matter what their station in life. Whether you were Jimmy Foster or Boone Yock and Boone Zavon, Kenny Burgio, Uncle Ralph, Jennifer Wilson, Bob Doohan, or Dr. Reverend Charles Thurman, who I'm sorry could not be here, the President of the United States, or a bum, were all important, or all people were important. Things were never important to my dad, but people always were. He never looked down on anyone. When I left in January, I was lucky enough to see Dad the last 6 days, but when I left in January, there was a chance that I would not see my father again. So I found a little notebook that I'd given him when I was in college. It was just a little portfolio designed to give his little notes and make his little list with, and I put some funny things in it, which I can't read because my stepmother will turn purple. But I found this book, and it was 20 years later, and I wrote this to him the day before I thought I was not going to see him again. I'm going to read this piece. Some of it is little cartoons, because if you understood, my dad used to send us little cartoons and stuff on the road, so I drew him some things and some cartoons, and you're free to read it afterwards. Dad, I looked all over the house for somewhere to write this, and found this little book in my own hand, just like Rose in Titanic. How extraordinary to see a reflection of yourself and you and I so long ago. Perhaps it is time for another entry. Just like the day I left for Texas in the old pink shirt, he had a picture of me in my pink shirt up on the wall at all times, the day I left for Texas. And he said, I knew you were never coming back after that for good. It is possible that we may not see each other again for a while. When I was in college, young, ambitious, tired and frustrated, I used to appreciate all the little notes that you would send me in the mail, courtesy of the Wizard of Id and, what was the other one? The BC. So I wrote a little cartoon of the dad talking to the father and the BC little ants. So you guys can see the cartoon. It's off color, so I can't do it in the lectern. My Aunt Joan and my mother-in-law are already mad at me that there's a beer on the lectern, so that's about as far as I'm going to go. We all know how famous, this is me talking to him, we all know how famous I am for bad artwork, so for one more time I can do the only thing you taught me to do, and I drew the little squiggle man that we used to draw on, when you go out to a restaurant and stuff. He taught us to draw a little squiggle man, and we teach all the boys to do it. Stephen and I still have fun with this one today. He doesn't think he's an artist either. We still don't even know what this guy's name is called. I suppose we should be grateful for all our blessings, and I will always remember this week with fondness. There is something to be said for just having time to spend, as we always have, watching basketball or the Shawshank, or just talking about life around the kitchen table. Your special gift is that you always knew how to do the little things right. To this day, you still make everyone you meet feel important, like you care, because you do care. If Scott were still here, he would tell you that he was always amazed at your effect on his friends. Everyone was always amazed how much fun you were to be around and how cool too. Everyone always told us how lucky we were to have a young, energetic dad who got his hands dirty and played right along with us, roller skating, water skiing, coaching basketball and baseball to the sounds of "Put me in, coach, I'm ready to play. Yes, I can be center field." Aunt Barbie had a movie one time of Dad showing us playing baseball, and she put it to those words, "Put me in, coach, I'm ready to play. Look at me, I can be center field." When I think of you, it will always be of that young, handsome guy in his Bermuda shorts, baby blue shirt, hanging out and leaning over to tell one of us what the next play was and give us encouragement in the process. It will be of you and Kathy coming to Kent in the night's end. It will be of the moment when you and Scott held Jake together for the first time, and that picture where father and son finally found common ground. It will be of you patiently waiting with a cooler full of food for my crew, and as I pulled that monster of an airplane into the blocks in Rochester for the first time. It will be you sitting on the front porch of 126 in the summer in your lawn chair with Buffy, surveying your perfectly manicured lawn. The 12 days of the Slater Christmas with the 2 tubes of 69-cent toothpaste. And of course, my favorite, 5 pounds of meatloaf out of 1 pound of meat. Now for the big things, and this is it. Thank you for being the best dad a fellow could ever want, for the tough times you endured, for always supporting me in what I did, for honesty, integrity, a strong work ethic, for unconditional love, for advice in hard times, for making me feel like I was special too, ... No expletive. For forgiveness when I hurt your feelings or was unfair, for bringing Kathy into my life and showing me how marriage really could be. I hope you will keep this, Dad, and read it often as things get worse. Let it remind you that today is temporary, but your life will last and endure in all of our minds and hearts. Don't lose hope. Hope is a good thing. Oh. The best of things. Hope never dies. I hope to see you again. Shake your hand. I hope to see you and I hope that you see your dad and can talk to him again. Tell him thank you for the tractor rides, the phone book, and the Republican 23rd Psalm. Yeah, you had to be in the family to understand that. When you see Scotty, tell them that I miss him every day, and more than I can ever express. Tell him that I was not better off. I love you, and know that you will never be too far from me ever. Your loving son. Your loving and grateful son, Jeff.